Rustler VXL9 going to be doing a how-to video on how to replace these servo gears. And yeah, so if you think you have a broken servo, it might sound like this. That's because your servo is not broken, it's the gears inside of it, most likely. So yeah, another sign of the servo might be broken would be when you turn it on. So it can still turn. It's just when you turn all the way for my car, it's all the way to the left is where it's broken. You hear a loud clicking noise. That means it's broken. And yeah, so I'm gonna say don't mess with it too much. You might stress it out. And yeah, I'll show you how to replace these mini servo gears. For fixing the servo, you're going to need a few things. One of them is a 2mm Allen wrench for taking off 2 bolts. Another thing is a screwdriver for unscrewing 4 screws on it. And finally, you're going to need the replacement screws. The part number is 2082. Comes with all the screws needed, and let's get it done. Okay, so first thing you're going to do, if you haven't already, is turn off your car. And mine is off. You can see it's unplugged. And so the next step would be removing the 2 screws that hold down your receiver and the receiver plate. You can't really see it right here. So these 2 screws right here and there. Once the 2 screws are off, the servo guard should just pop right off. And next thing you're going to do is undo this little screw right here. After you've undone this screw right here, this should be free to move around. Now, if you went ahead and took it out or unplugged it from the receiver box, you could just pop the whole thing right out and have no problems with it. Or you can try to do it the fast way and just take off the screws on the top of it. So if you're doing it the fast way, just undo these 4 screws up here with a screwdriver. Another thing I should mention is if you are doing it the fast way, be sure to be holding it down while taking the screws out. And you may need a smaller screwdriver like this one right here. When you're finished, all 4 screws should only be out about this far. So next you're going to do is you're going to flip over your car part way. And you're just going to probably just turn it over. Probably be easier. Okay. And now the top of it should just pop right off. And you go here, the main parts. And let's try to find my broken part. Okay, so one broken part you can see is right there, it's stripped out. And yeah, another one is, I'm pretty sure, inside of the cap. I think some of those might have stripped out. I don't know, but yeah, let's get the new ones in there. While dealing with the gears, you may want to place down a coffee filter to place them on. And yeah, then you're going to grab the gears. You're going to carefully put a hole in them at the top. Then open it up. Came with 4 gears. And now let's see if the top gear is supposed to have half. Yep. And here it is. The gear that I thought was broken inside, supposed to look like this, but I'll probably still replace it. So, yep. Okay, and going to replace the parts. So I'm going to take off the big piece on top first, place it aside. The somewhat big piece, place it aside, and the smallest piece, which the pin came off, so place it right back in. And then going to grab the new smallest piece, Going to place it right back in how it came out. Being a little booger. There we go. Try to focus it for you guys. Then going to grab the second biggest piece, which is this one right here. Place it on the far end. As done. So it should look like that. Then going to grab the biggest piece right here and place it right down like that. And now we can get to replacing the one inside of the receiver cap. Okay, so when taking the one out of the receiver cap, you're going to want to remember how it looks. So when the pole is hanging down, it is aligned inside with the arrows up and down and the gears on the inside. So pretty much remember that. And now I'll take it out. Okay, so once you take the screw out, you may have trouble pulling off this black end. So what you can do that I found easier is just grab an Allen wrench and just push through. And the gear should pop right out. And it should come off no problem. So then we're going to grab the new one, which is this one right here. We're going to take the bearing off the old one. You see this little rubber seal bearing. We're going to place it exactly where it is on the new, where it would be on the new one. So yeah, right there. Next, you're going to place the new gear inside with the gears facing the outside, like that. And you're going to grab the outside rod. First, try to align this best you can. Like that. What are you doing, camera? Come on. Focus. Then grab the outside rod. Place it in downward. So it should look somewhat like this. Oh, I aligned it kind of wrong, as you can see. So I'm just going to grab Allen wrench and push it out. And try to line it up better again. Okay. Whoa, that's a flash. Yeah, and here it is, lined up exactly how it should look. And now we can go ahead and put it back onto the servo. So next we're going to attach this to the servo. Make sure to have the rod facing down. And yeah, have it go on the servo just like this. Should only be able to get it on part way, unless you push the screws all the way back, like that. And yeah, so I'd say put the 4 screws in, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, another thing I found you could do by accident is if you can't really align it up good with the rod inside the servo, just put it on the rod and line it up like this. You can get it exactly perfect. And then you can just put on the outer servo box like this, and then put on the rod afterwards, and you're all good. Just make sure you put the rod on sideways like this, and I'll show you guys how to do that as soon as I put the 4 screws in. Also, if your servo doesn't work when you do hook it up, just take off the cap and try to line it the best you can. So, yep, it should work just like this when it's plugged in. So this is right, and this is left. It should look somewhat like that. So when you, careful, when you're done looking at it, just be sure to put the cap on the right way. So it's really not that hard to get the cap mixed up on which way to put it on. Pretty much just like that. And then put the 4 screws in, and we can go to the next step. Okay, so once you get your servo all working, you can turn it on again. and just turn all sides and make sure you don't hear any snapping at all, so you know it works. Then you can turn it off by just unplugging. And yeah, you're gonna put the servo in with the name or the part number facing outward. So, oh, I feel so stupid. To put the receiver back into the car, if you did it the fast way, you're going to have to slide it through here. Be careful no gears fall out. Tip your car upside down. And then put on the outside of the receiver box. Not receiver box, sorry about that. Servo case. So pretty much just pop this through, pop the receiver box on, and then you can tighten all 4 screws. Sorry about that, guys. Once you get all 4 screws tightened down, you're going to grab the little rod that goes on the end of the receiver, put it on facing outward, straight out like that. Here's another view for you guys. And then connect this rod right here back into this rod. So screw that one into there. Once you've got that screw tightened down, you're going to put in this screw right here. And while putting it in, it's going to want to turn your tires like that. So you're just going to hold your tires down and tighten the screw in. Simple as that. Once you've got that screw tightened down all the way, you're going to grab the servo cover, put it on, just like that. Flip your car over, and tighten those 2 screws right there. That one and that one. Once you're all done by putting those 2 screws in, should look like this. And buddy, if you bought those gears, you just saved yourself about $25 from buying a new receiver from Traxxas or any other website that sells them. Their original price is about $25. If you send them into Traxxas, they will send you a new one for about half the price. But out here in Oregon, I have to wait about 2 weeks. So, you know, I spent $3 on the gear set, and I saved myself 2 weeks and some money, you know, so, yep. I hope this guide helped you, and, yeah. Let's hear how it sounds compared to before. That's much better. And, yeah, so I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it helped you guys. If you're new to RC or even used to it and you wanted a guide on how to fix your servo. These mini servos do go out quite often. So, yeah. Hope this guide helped you. Please do leave it a like if you enjoyed it. And, yeah. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Rustler VXL09 out.